Welcome back, this is Mark Hubert again. Concerning putting Windows on the Macs, and we have got some new informations. And this information has been released through the Apple internal websites. And I will be very glad to share my expertise and share my new information with you, because all of you are my friends. I see yourself as your friends, as a consultant. I'm not trying to sell you at things, but I want to get the most out of your Mac. At first, we've been trying to believe that if you put Windows on our Mac using the Pro desktops, which allows us to create some sort of virtual PC and allows us to use or run Macs and Windows at the same time simultaneously, and it will reduce the overall speed of the overall computer. It's going to create and generate even higher temperatures to our Mac, and it's going to consume more resources. I have read some new article released by Proud company. We have tested new features in Pro Desktop 5.0, and we have found something that's very interesting. The thing is, this time, even though you will run Macs and Windows at the same time simultaneously, there's a features that allow Pro Desktop to slower the overall speed of the Mac OS and enhance or increase the speed of the Windows. Are you with me so far? That means this time, even though you run Mac and Windows at the same time simultaneously, it won't slowing down the overall speed of the computer this time. Okay? But from my experience, you have to keep things in mind. If you buy the latest MacBook Pros or the 15 or 17 inch, all these 15 and 17 inch models, they have two graphic cards on board, which is the Intel graphic chipset and NVIDIA. Okay, and the machine could switch between two graphic cards from the distinct one or the shared memory one back and forth automatically, because prior you had to do manually, but this time it could do automatically. So the thing is, if you put Windows onto your Mac, Windows system will pick up the stronger one all the time. In general, you can hear, very loud fans coming out of the motherboard. You can check by downloading. There's an application called iStat, which can be downloaded from the internet for free. iStat allows you to see all kinds of things that have been going on your Mac, all kinds of settings, also the battery. Okay, it's an open source, it's a freeware, it's a very useful one. And in order to play around with your fans, there is another feature, but in general I don't usually suggest this feature. It's called FMC Fan Controller for Mac. It allows you to reduce or increase the speed of the fans, okay, by yourself manually. But the thing is, just be noted that, just keep in mind that if you use Power or Virtual PC to run Macs and Windows at the same time simultaneously, just peacefully note that your computer will consume more energy, you will get higher temperatures, and also it will pick up only the stronger graphic card. So this is very, very important to keep in mind. And also another company, which is Power rival, I can say like Coca-Cola and Pepsi. There is another company called VMware Fusions. They have released the latest version of it also. And they said this time you can play 3D games using VMware Fusions. I have tried playing a game called Resident Evil 5 using the new MacBook Pros run on VMware Fusion, and I have found very interesting result, because I got the frame rates up to 40 FPS, which is pretty high for that, but of course slightly higher temperatures than regular use, like surfing on the web or reading email stuff, all those things, typing document, all that. So the conclusion is this. To be perfectly honest, I would not usually suggest you to run Virtual PC, whether Power Desktop or VMware Fusions, on a Mac laptop. But I would substantially suggest you and strongly suggest you to run something of this kind, or to avoid wasting a time or taking the time to restart between Macs and Windows back and forth on a desktop one. So if you are an iMac user, I would suggest to use VMware Aparos, okay? You can use any of this, but if you are a laptop user, I would suggest using the free Bootcamp features. Bootcamp comes with, in Tiger, you got the demo version of this, the beta one. Then you got the full versions, which is the Leopard, and then you got the latest one from Snow Leopard. And there is an episode of this which allows you to download for free from the internet, which is called the Bootcamp Update 3.1. Now whatever you all have to update a thing, okay? Like, I think a large number of people have been experiencing getting some frustrating and also been, facing and experiencing very bad conditions of the iMac 27 in screen, okay? Like the screen turns just yellow, just a little bit all this stuff, and you might get some sort of flicker from the light bulb, the LED light bulb on the back of the screen. And this could be fixed. They have resolved this problem. Apple has released some sort of firmware which can be, you can just type in Google, I want to upgrade, I want to get the new firmware update for iMac 27-inch. You will get all the line that appears on the screen. Okay, so this is very important. So as I said a million times, you can't figure out anything. Firstly, you might experience any software problems. First, you try Apple. You just type in internet and then you can type Apple telephone technical support. You will get numbers of toll-free numbers throughout the world. And then you call them first. And then if you can't think of anything, just go to software update and try to update the software. So in general, you might be able to suppose to fix the initial problem that occurs using your Mac. So please kind of keep this in mind, very important. If you are a desktop user, I would suggest to use virtual PC like Power Desktop or VMware Fusion. But if you use a laptop, don't use any of this. Unless your computer is under the protections of the AppleCare protection plan, or you have to pay, I think the cost for all the extra parts available in the world in terms of Apple computers, they're very expensive. So without the warranty, it's pretty much, I think you're supposed to buy a new one. You ought to buy a new computer rather than to wait for, the broken parts to be replaced. Okay, so if you're a laptop user, I would suggest to go for the Bootcamp because, in general, the Leopard and the Snow Leopard, in general, they're not usually, taking very long times in order to restart themselves. So please kind of be patient, and you can prolong the lifespan of your motherboard, your screen, and all that stuff. And please be aware of the power surge also. I hope you enjoy your Macs, and thanks for watching. Thank you.